Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Fallen London. Today we are going to be carrying on with the exceptional story, A Crown of Thorns. We are currently standing outside of the Shuttered Palace. We're having watched the servant walk in there, and we've got to try and get in. And we have three options. We can either bribe them, convince them you're a servant, or claim that you've been summoned by the Rye functionary. I think we're going to bribe them, because that tends to work out the best. So let's bribe them and we'll go in. The guards look at the money in your hand, then at each other. "Get to the laundry," the hairier of the two says, gruffly pocketing the money. "Always busy there, just keep your head down." You slip through the servants' gate and follow the stench of lye to the laundry. Inside, the air is thick with steam and gossip. "Heard one of the princess's manservants was late today," shouts a red-faced washerwoman. "He's running around trying to catch up. Don't let him get in our way." "Ooh, he's oblivious to our presence." And we are incognito at the Shuttered Palace. All the linen and lace from the Shuttered Palace is taken to the laundry to have the secrets scrubbed out. "You there!" shouts the red-faced washerwoman. "Get on a mangle, or stir that ointment before it curdles, quickly. His Highness is getting through it awful fast." Okay, whispers travel below stairs and the Thorned Manservant could be listening. Learn what you can about the bellicose prince, but be wary of attracting gossip that could get back to his manservant. We can stir the ointment. His Highness needs it. This will yield multiple clues, but will slightly erode our cover. Or we can work the mangle, the washerwoman gossip as they crank the handle. Let's start with stirring the ointment, I guess. What do we need? We need 3 clues. An apothecarist thrusts a wooden paddle into your hands and pushes you towards a bubbling vat, into which 3 men are furiously squeezing and grating ingredients. As you plough the spoon through the gelatinous liquid, you release a cloud of vapour that makes your eyes water. Your nose starts to run and you cannot help but sniffle. "You should have got used to the smell by now," grumbles one of the men, snatching the paddle away and giving you some fruit to juice instead. "His Highness has been getting through a barrel a week. Only thing that makes him comfortable now." We gained a solace fruit. Interesting. And we got 2 clues. But we did lose 1 incognito. So the smart way of doing this would be to now work the mangle, I guess, which will increase our incognito again. So let's work the mangle. The washerwoman quickly accepts you as one of their own. "I'm not talking about normal meals for upstairs," says the younger. "I'm talking about the ones they eat in the cellars. I've heard that footmen keep going missing." "Footmen never do," counters her colleague. "That lot want something better. I reckon it's debutantes, young madams flaunted by an invitation to a real royal banquet." The two exchange more rumours, conflicting and dubiously sourced. If you had any real understanding of what happens in the palace cellars, they've confused it. Down in the cellars is a very interesting place. A squadron of chambermaids upends a colossal basket of clothes into a barrel of soapy water. One of them beckons for your assistance. Ooh, this will yield a clue and improve our cover. Launder the clothes. What do the royals wear? You infiltrate a huddle of washerwomen with forearms like hams and plunge your own into the soapy water. The garments that swirl beneath the surface are exquisitely fashioned from opulent fabrics, but are strange shapes and boast many more sleeves than one might expect. Lurking at the bottom of the tub is a set of pre-lapsarian regimentals, still bright red. Close inspection reveals that the military jacket has been cut up and restitched into a long, wide tube. The epaulets hang uselessly over stitched up armholes. What are we finding here? Okay, now we can follow a chambermaid to find out where they take the folded linens. You follow the chambermaid along mirror-lined corridors to a candle-lit bathroom. She lays white towels next to a gleaming bath and turns on the taps. As steam fills the room, she sprinkles rose petals into the water with a golden dish. And yet you smell... compost? You lean forward to get a closer look, but your forehead collides with glass. You have been gazing into a reflection. You turn around to see the maid shoveling black matter into a huge metal basin. She smooths down a depression in the middle, as if making a nest. So the mirrors are all illusions. Interesting. Amid the chaos of the laundry, only one person is still. She is an aged nursery maid, quietly darning stockings by the fire. Ooh, okay. Let's assist the aged nursery maid. At this point, I'm just interested in what information we can find. You untangle threads for the aged nursery maid as she darns delicate stockings and meanders through her memories. "Children need love," she murmurs, "and I gave it as best I could, even when it grew dark. But with so many, what could I do? They're all still searching for love, you know. One of them calls it romance, another calls it glory, but every one of them is looking in the wrong place. I've failed them all." I think we've done everything here. We have enough clues to find the library below stairs. A chambermaid has spoken of how one of the prince's manservants spends his breaks in a small library not far from the laundry. There is a single armchair in the corner of the modest library. Its ruined antimacassar suggests that someone with a thorned head has sat in it many times. Beside the chair is a precarious stack of books bristling with bookmarks. We have three options. We can take a book. The right collector will pay handsomely for a good book. We do have a 100% chance of success of stealing this book. We can read one and then put it back. What might the subject matter tell you about the reader? Or we can return to the laundry. I'm going to take the book. Money. Hidden amongst several grim volumes on infernal weaponry is a book about the study of invertebrates. It falls open on a page discussing the reproductive rituals of mollusks. Certain specimens lace their slime with a scent that is alluring to others, so that they might find each other and breed. These creatures move so slowly that they may never encounter a companion, but nature has bestowed upon them the miraculous ability to fertilize themselves. Why would the Thorned Manservant be interested in such things? Could he be concerned that his leaves might attract vermin? You will have to ponder this later. For now, you pocket the book, and we got a Journal of Infamy. And we are back in the laundry. Well, what are we at? I don't know. Let's sit with the aged nursemaid, because that yields a clue. How many clues do we have? Oh, one. Is anything new here? No. Let's improve our cover. Let's yield a clue and get more cover. Lurking at the bottom is a set of Presbyterian regimentals. Yes, we've read this before. Just double checking there's nothing new here. We need one more clue. Let's launder some more clothes. Get that cover as high as we can. We are going full incognito here in the palace. And here we go. Find the prince's hoard. From laundry gossip, you glean that one of the princes, or his manservant, caches treasures in a hidden room in case funds are needed in a hurry. The chamber is lined with shelves, each straining beneath the weight of drab boxes. Military memorabilia is piled up against one wall. This hoard is likely to belong to the bellicose prince. You peer inside a few of the boxes. Each contains a gleaming treasure, carefully packed in wood shavings, ready to be sold. They predate the fall from a time when the sun never set on the Empress's domain. Since this room was unlocked, the prince and his manservant must trust the other servants not to slip trinkets into their pockets. Either they are exceedingly loyal, or the punishment for theft must be severe. We can steal a trinket, the prince has no more right to them than you do. Or we can leave the treasures alone, but we have a 100% chance of success of stealing these treasures, and I feel like in for a penny, in for a pound, we've already stolen a book, we may as well go for a treasure too, right? Each artifact is accompanied by a certificate detailing its history. All were brought to the palace in the decades preceding the fall, and have remained in the family's private collection ever since. While the country of origin is listed for most, no attention has been paid to their original purposes. Your fingers alight upon a polished stone egg that slides open to reveal a face with bejeweled eyes, crying carved tears. Upon closer inspection, the tears reveal themselves to be tiny lines of inscrutable script. What is one of those? An unprovidenced artifact, meticulously carved by skilled faraway hands for a deliberate but unknown purpose, and then appropriated, boxed up and brought to London because it will look so handsome over a fireplace. Oh, I love it. Okay. I'm going to put that above my fireplace. Your investigation dislodges a musty sheet. It slips to the floor, revealing a painting of a general atop a rearing horse, his fist raised in triumph. Before him, a seething battlefield. We can slash the canvas, which seems unnecessary, unless there's something behind the canvas. Let's examine the painting without touching it. I feel slashing the canvas is a little bit over the top, even for me. The general's bicorn hat and dark blue regimentals suggest that the portrait was painted around the turn of the century. However, he is sporting an extravagant mustache that has only been in vogue in recent decades. As you leave, you're accosted by a servant in a veiled hat. "Could use a hand in the cage garden if you've finished with your other duties," he says. The cage gardens? Pray tell, is the cage gardens? The servants there require help too. You will be able to return to the laundry if you wish. You may as well go to the cage gardens. Oh, wait. Is this where they get the honey? I feel like we've come across this place in one of the other exceptional stories at some point. Oh dear. The Shuttered Palace has its own cage garden, so that red honey might be harvested for the family's private use. Yes, that's what I thought. Lamplighter bees sip nectar at the rose beds, then fly to the cages to feast on memories. Okay, so... is that Ivory? Oh, Ivory, sorry? I don't think I know him. I'm not the cat's chiefest claw in fallen London. However, in sunless seas, I have met him many a time. Let's start with speaking to the cage man. We may as well start strong. Unlike most of the others here, he isn't screaming. The man's gossamer skin is scarred with ancient bee stings. In fragments, he speaks of the stupas that were here before the last fall. As he talks, a single bee crawls inside his ear as if it was an orchid. He pays no mind. He is glad the things he has seen will live on. After the bee emerges, legs bulging, he tells you of his time in the monastery and how it prepared him for this life. He reaches into a pocket and gives you a handful of carved stones. He cannot remember what they are. They are relics of the 4th city. Interesting. Well, let's tend to the rosebeds. Lamplighter bees drift lazily into the sulphurous rosebeds and emerge, frenzied. Most hurtle towards the cages for the richest source of memories, but one flies directly at you. You flee, ducking behind a flower bed. When the bees have gone, you look up to see what appears to be a large rose bush reaching out its branches to tend to a row of flowers at its roots. The bunch twists towards you, and deep within the foliage, you see a pair of eyes. "Don't like having elf flowers around," grumbles a gardener, nodding at the glass house. "If you ask me, crossbreeding's too dangerous to be done here. Leave it to the devils." Okay. We can examine the ledger of honey. What tastes are harvested here? The palace's honey is meticulously catalogued. The ledger is a labyrinth of cross-references so that you can search for memories by almost any quality, including era, salacity, and the involvement of notable persons. Much of the honey is reserved for a handful of people, each of whom goes by a single name. H will touch only honey from a single inmate of the caged gardens, whose cage was kept away from the rest. L favours memories of the great galleries of Europe, and military memories are reserved for A. We assume the person we're looking for is A. We seem to be heavily going towards militaria here. And we gained a clue, which is wonderful. Assist a troubled apiarist. She is bent over a black comb. You hold the black honeycomb while the troubled apiarist examines it. "See how the cells are irregular?" she asks. "The colony is troubled. We try to control whose memories are allowed to harvest, but some years ago there was a contaminant. The bees started attacking their own. Before we could sample the honey for an explanation, it was gone. Torn away in chunks." She slices away a fragment of wax, dips a finger in the honey, and brushes it across her lips. In the distance, someone screams. "Something still lingers," she whispers. "Bee societies are complex. Trauma echoes through the generations." "I told you there's work to be done," snaps a cage keeper, her face illuminated by a foxfire candle flame. Well, we can find the military memories. I think we're undercover enough. We are. From the movements of the servants, it's apparent that honey harvest from soldiers is separated from the rest. You linger near the servants whose job it is to sort honey vials, eavesdropping until they mention the room where military memories are taken. One of the prince's manservants insists on preparing them for his master. He doesn't trust anyone else to do it. You infer that he collects the vials, then takes them himself to a small kitchen near the palace gardens. You make your way to the room, unseen by the other servants. The kitchen is sparse, containing a few dusty utensils that cannot have been used for some time. In one corner is a sink with a wooden box on the floor beside it. The sink is full of smashed glass, bleeding red liquid into a plug hole. On the counter is a single intact vial, bright as a ruby. Someone tried to dispose of this honey and was interrupted. Okay, so we can taste the honey from the remaining vial. Someone somewhere will feel you crawl through their memories. It will be agonizing for them. We can rinse the remaining honey away. Neither indulgence nor knowledge are worth the cost. There's only a 60% chance of success here, and if he does, he'll notice me. I don't want to risk doing that. Or we can return to the caged gardens. It will be less risky to destroy a vial if you've bolstered your disguise. Let's go bolster our disguise. Examine the ledger. Can it go higher than this? No, incognito hasn't changed from 5 because it's higher than 4. I don't think... Oh wait. What about 10 to the rose burns? Nope, hasn't changed because it's higher than 4. I don't think I can get it higher than I can here. Because part of me wants to see what this does, but do you know what? Let's just taste the honey. Why not? The boiler room dissolves in a plume of smoke. Coughing, you crawl across the battlefield, searching for your sister. Any of these butchered bodies could be hers, for everyone was dressed the same. She could scarcely hold a musket, and yet she followed you here before you could explain that your stories were lies, that in truth you did nothing but walk and sweat and feign laughter at the captain's jokes, that you laid awake in terror of the day you would actually be called to fight. She believed your tales of triumph, and has paid with her life. Well, damn. We need another 3 clues. Alright, well, let's explore the cage gardens. Lamplighter bees can be subdued by foxfire candles. A venerable cage keeper brings water to a caged woman. She's got memories of the pre-lapsarian pleasure gardens, so her moments of respite come rarely. I try to bring her comfort while I can. The woman moans, rubbing her bee-stung face. Never touched honey myself. I've seen what it does. Not just to people like her, but to the takers. Makes everything inside come out, so you can see what they were trying to keep hidden. Doesn't happen to everyone. Think there has to be something in the blood before people start to, you know. He jerks his head towards the mist-shrouded palace. Get like that? Get like what, my dear fellow? Are you trying to insinuate that the royal family may in fact be monsters? Examine the ledger again. Trying to get some more clues here. Feel there's nothing new. Let's assist the apiarist. Why not? And here we go, find the nursery. From the apiarist's murmurings, you gather that a clutch of eggs is being incubated in a building near the cage gardens. They were not laid by bees. The incubator is a glass-fronted wooden cabinet, riddled with copper pipes that radiate heat. You peer through the viewing window at a clutch of gelatinous eggs. They gently pulsate, perhaps with the beating of small hearts. We could scoop some into our pocket. Oh, we've only got a 50% chance. Why do we feel compelled to possess them? Oh man. We can examine them without touching. I don't believe we can increase our disguise anymore. We could flip a coin. I'm not sure. I want to be here. I don't want them to know I've been here. Sneaky, sneaky and all that. So, oh, 50%. Damn it. You open the cabinet and run your fingers over the eggs. They are strung together on viscous ropes, like strings of pearls. Beneath the translucent membrane, each orb is webbed with blood vessels that feed the twitching creature within. Grasp an egg between your fingers and thumb and lift an entire string out of the nest, leaving the rest of them untouched. You lower the eggs into your pocket. They are warm against your leg. Oh gods, but we failed and he will know. that someone has done this. There's an interloper here. He doesn't specifically know it's me, I guess. The remaining eggs quiver in the warm incubator. Shadows dance beneath their translucent membranes. We can destroy them. There's no telling what they might become. That seems unwise. Or we can leave them be. Perhaps it is not for you to judge whether these creatures should live, or perhaps you would rather they hatched. I'm going to leave them be. I don't fancy smashing eggs. I don't know what they are. You close the glass door of the incubator, leaving the nest alone. Whatever these creatures become, you choose to risk letting them live. Well, they were good. If I'd never come here, how bad can it be? Can I bolster my cover before I go further here? Or is it as high as it'll go? But on the other hand, we are coming up to near the end of the episode. Do I want to start doing this now? Do I want to follow the Thorned Manservant? This will advance the story. Let's advance the story. Let's see where it goes. He will lead you to the bellicose prince's chambers, the heart of this matter. You follow the Thorned Manservant into a mirror-lined labyrinth coiling deep beneath the palace. In the walls you glimpse bright nurseries, alive with tea sets and rocking horses. Far underground, the Thorned Manservant stops before a heavy door. He unlocks it and steps through. You peer through the door to the red-walled chamber hung with military antiques. With his back to you, the Thorned Manservant begins polishing a set of medals. You know what? I think I'm going to leave this here. I've decided that we'll put this in the next episode, and hopefully it's not like 10 minutes of story. I have a nasty habit of doing that, but I think there's more here. So we'll look in the prince's cellars in the next episode. So thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Let me know what you think. Your comments are greatly appreciated. And as always, I'll see you next time.